We're only 7 races in, but silly season well underway. Let's get right to what's been happening this week. On Tuesday, Kasey Kahne announced that he will not be returning to Richard Petty Motorsports. Well, a lot of announcements ensued after that, one being that Hedrick Motorsports, Kasey Kahne's going to go there in 2011, and in 2012 will take over the 5 car from Mark Martin. The question became, what will happen to Mark Martin in 2012? Our very own Bob Dillner talked to him on Friday.
I'm just going to race. I don't know. I just want to make sure that I'm trying to keep you guys to just be quiet and not talk about retiring, because there ain't no retire in me. I'm going to be racing. I'll be racing in 12 and beyond. I love the sport. Not worried about it. Not worried where the seat's going to be. I'm just so grateful that I have a chance to go to work every day and sit in that 5 car and work with Hedrick Motorsports. It's just a dream.
Okay, so we do know that Mark Martin will be with Hedrick Motorsports in 2011. Not sure what's going to happen with him in 2012 in that 5 car with Kasey Kahne getting in. Of course, Kasey Kahne, when he came to Texas Motor Speedway, had lots of media to approach on what's been going on. Let's hear from him and more guys at Hedrick Motorsports.
To be in the position I'm in now and know where I'm going to be in 2012, to have the opportunity with Rick Hedrick and everybody at Hedrick Motorsports, to me is just it's an unbelievable opportunity. I can't wait to get that started.
So far, all I can say is positive things about it, and that we're feel very fortunate at Hedrick to be able to have signed Kasey, and looking forward to that future with him there.
Kasey Kahne is the really right fit for this organization.
We're in a great situation. We've got 4 amazing drivers now. Kasey waiting in the wings. We'll have to see what develops, over the next year or so and what happens there. But I think he's going to be a great teammate, really good for the long-term picture for Hedrick Motorsports, and I look forward to working with him when the time comes.
I'm really happy for Rick. Rick was really proud of it, and I'm real happy that Rick's enjoying that, and I think Kasey will do a good job for Rick, make Rick real happy.
It's exciting. It's something for me to look forward to. I know where I'll be for a while, and as a driver, you just feel confident and comfortable with that. So I'm pretty excited about it. I have a lot to do this year with my existing team, and make sure that I give 100% and make sure that we're all working together like we always do. And those guys are good. So I'm looking forward to finishing up with our whole Budweiser team, finishing up strong.
And of course, with Kasey Kahne going to the 5 car in 2012, the question was when 2011. Well, we heard that right now Rick Hedrick is giving it about a 90-day span to know exactly what's going to happen with Kasey Kahne in 2011. Now, the question became, is Stewart Haas Racing going to get involved and possibly start that 3rd team and use Kasey Kahne over there? Will Mark Martin go over to Stewart Haas Racing for one of those years? There's a lot of unknowns, and we're lots of speculation in the garage of what can happen, Johnny. But this is just the start of silly season. 7 races in. Can you believe it?
That is very hard to believe, Wendy. And if you want to see, race fans, exactly what went on with Kasey Kahne, we had a camera crew following him all weekend long, and you can see the results of that following at on the Sounds of NASCAR tomorrow at 9:30 to see exactly what happened to Kasey Kahne over the course of this very wild week. Now, it was veteran actor Barney Rubble who said it best: if you can't beat him, join him. And that's exactly what Kasey Kahne has done now. He has joined Hedrick Motorsports. But a couple of questions for you guys. How big is this move for Kasey Kahne? And also, how important is this for Richard Petty Motorsports?
Veteran actor Barney Rubble.
It's one of the best actors ever.
All right, here's what I think, and we talked about it earlier this morning. I think it creates more questions than it gives you answers. Okay, that's the main thing. Obviously, you take RPM; they're losing their superstar. Okay, you look at that. You look at Elliott Sadler, who just has 1 year, or this is the last year of his deal. You look at Paul Menard, who had a 1-year deal with RPM. I think when you look at it, there's a lot of unknowns at RPM. Some of the financial issues that have come up this week. So I think this is a team that's right there teetering 7 races into the season on where they're going to be next year. I think we've seen this with Ganassi in the past. We've seen it with other teams in the past. And that's why we see mergers. And I think Kenny talked about mergers and some of the stuff.
My heart's pounding because I got so much to say. First of all, let me address Mark Martin real quick. Let's go back a couple years. Rick Hedrick said, I can't find a quality driver to get in the 5 car. Hey, Mark Martin, ring-a-ding-ding. Will you please bail me out? You're a great race car driver. Mark Martin says, look, I'm going to get out of retirement and have me a good old time. No more pressure. Mark Martin is in that 5 seat to fill a void. Mark Martin is taking credit for going and talking to Kasey Kahne. Mark Martin said, Kasey, will you please come drive this car? And then the bottom line is Rick Hendrick hires him. Okay, let's put that to bed. Mark Martin is just simply having fun right now. He's not putting any pressure on himself. Let's go to Richard Petty Motorsports. Oh, Lord. Here's where I get in trouble, but I'm not going to be real political about it. Okay, first of all, it's not a story in the media and print because you can read it all in the media and print. On TV here, this is what I'm going to say. RPM's in trouble. We all know that. That's why they merged last year with Roush Yates, okay? So they had to merge to stay alive. They're losing Kasey Kahne. They lost Dodge. Now, Foster Gillette came out and he says, look, you all keep, putting us down. He says, last year you had us down for the count. Foster, I am behind you. I love your family. I love your father. You're a great car owner, and thanks for everything you've done for the sport. But what's happening right now is everybody's scattering like ants over at RPM because they got a big financial note, some money they owe some people coming up. And the reason I can say that and repeat that is because that's on every single website, and Foster Gillette addressed the media. So I just repeated what he is saying. Wow. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, look, I agree. I think you look at, there's just a lot going on over there, and we can sit here and speculate all day long. I talked about it on the hub the other day. When you lose your star driver, Kasey Kahne is your star driver. That's who they hung their future on. When he walks out the door, you've got to replace that driver at RPM to be a competitive team. You've got to come back and say, okay, who is that guy? Now we go back to who's out there. Silly season has started 7 races and into the season.
7 races?
Yeah, 7 races. But as I said, there's other issues at RPM that we're talking about here. And let's go back to the Mark Martin issue and the Rick Hendrick's issue. And I'll address that for the last time as this. I'm not going to speculate about Mark Martin, and I'm not going to speculate about Kasey Kahne for one reason. Rick Hendrick said, Mark Martin, you'll have a ride with me going into the future. Kasey Kahne, you've got to ride with me. Rick Hendricks has never backed away from his word, okay? And that's how simple it is. These guys are going to be in a race car, so if you're a fan out there, it doesn't make any difference. These players are going to be out there driving for Rick Hendricks or something to do with Rick Hendricks in the future.